Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I wanted to share some knowledge which I have on Ruby on Rails and help new people to get on board with Rails. So there are some points that I will be covering in this video. Why should one use Rails? What are the limitations of Rails? What are the prerequisites? What are the mistakes that new Rails developers usually make? So let's get started. Why should one use Rails? So Rails is a very neat framework and it is growing from past years. New features are being added in every release to help developers in catching up with the new technologies. Rails is good when you want to go with new projects and you have very less time, which means less developer time and more output. But it actually hides a lot of things from developer, how everything is happening behind the scenes. So if you want to build a product and try it out in the market, then you can go with Rails. It will help you a lot. One more thing that I would like to add is that it is very developer friendly. It follows convention over configuration, which means you don't have to take care much about the configurations and focus on your goal. With Ruby's easy to understand syntax and awesome support for libraries from open source developers, it becomes very easy to build an application in very less time. These libraries are called as gems and they are available for almost every problem which you are trying to solve. So if you don't want to build some custom tool for a job and a gem is available, try using it and support the devs as well. I'm sure you will love it. Why should one not go with Rails? If you want to build an application and you want to set up everything from scratch but want to align configurations according to your needs, then I would suggest you to try some of the frameworks. Another point which I would like to add is when you want to build a computation heavy application which may require multi-threading, then also you should avoid Rails. Although there are some workarounds, but these are only good for those who already have some experience in Ruby. And we can discuss about these tools or workarounds later. Machine learning in Ruby. This is also another separate topic which we can debate on. But machine learning and Ruby do not go usually hand in hand because Ruby doesn't have much libraries to provide support for machine learning. So if you're trying to build an application thinking of integrating machine learning into your application, then I would suggest you to try Python, Django, which have huge support for machine learning libraries. What are the prerequisites? You should have prior knowledge to programming. And if it is Ruby, then it is a big plus. Basic knowledge of relational databases, HTML, CSS, jQuery or JavaScript. This is pretty much everything which will help you in getting on board with Ruby on Rails. What are the mistakes that new Rails developers usually make? I made this mistake and I saw a lot of people doing it and I want to share it with you as well. Whenever a new person is starting with Rails, they get so excited with Ruby on Rails auto generation features that they forget about Ruby on which it is running. They assume Ruby is very easy, which is because of its syntax, but at the same time, syntax is not everything. Ruby has its own features like modules, classes, symbols, metaprogramming, which they ignore in the beginning. And later, this ignorance costs a lot. You will eventually have to come back to learn basics again. So I would suggest you to learn basics about Ruby, which won't take much time. Or when you are learning Rails and you come across an unknown keyword, then try Googling it. You will know a lot about its functionalities. For now, that's all. I will come back with my Ruby on Rails tutorials to help everyone learning it. Good luck and take care, guys.